G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Look, it's bloody lovely. Today it's supposed to be 31 degrees and sunny, but look, just as the morning's gone on, and look, it's probably only 8:30 now, there's a little bit of cloud coming over and the shed's creaking and popping a little bit, but I think the editing will take all that out for us. A bit of a busy week, which I suppose I like them like that. The grass has been growing like you would not believe, and yeah, look, I've spent about 4 hours on the rider mower, and just yesterday I did the slashing. I slashed all the front half of the property and out on the road. The back grass isn't that long yet, so I've left that, but the Massey 20 out the back that I'm doing the slashing with to give it a bit of work, it's got about 8 hours on it since it's had a service, and probably 8.9 or something, so say 9 hours anyway, since I've serviced it all up and had it running, and I've had all the slasher all nice and clean and the tractor clean, but now I've got to wash it all again. So it's just sitting out the back in the wash bay there. Judy's going to come and with the wheelbarrow and grab all the grass off it so she can mulch around her trees and things like that. Quite a good mango crop at the moment. Through the week I had to make a pole with a little mower blade with a V in it so she can, and a pot of a pot plant, to hop up in the mango trees and grab a mango and give it a hook and grab it so it doesn't hit the ground. But yeah, look, it's a bumper year. We've been giving them away by the bucketful to people. So yeah, there's a little tree there. Mangoes are only so big, and they're really tasty. They ripen on the tree, and some of the bigger mangoes we try and pull off a little bit early because we have a hungry possum and he likes to get them. But yesterday, while I was mowing, I was watching two little birds and they're pecking away on a mango on the ground, having a nice feed, so they seem to enjoy themselves, so it was a good thing. Not a lot of shed work through the week. I reorganised all the tractors and got them back in, which I think I'd done that last week. The Massey 20 was in. I've had to shift the camper trailer out. I polished all one side of the camper trailer and did the mud guards, and near the pantry there was a cigarette lighter plug, a 12-volt plug and a USB for phone charging, and all the rubber flaps were buggered, so I bought 2 more of those. And I've changed them both to USBs now, because by the time you use USBs for charging torches and phones and things like that, yeah, it just made sense. You know, we hardly use the ciggy socket anymore. I've left a ciggy socket up near the stove. We do have some lights that plug into a ciggy socket that we can put up in the gazebo and sort out up there. So yeah, yesterday I got day before. Oh, time gets away. The day before I took the camper trailer, after polishing some of it, I wasn't happy with the little edges and all, so I took it out the back and I give it a really good wash and a truck wash and a detail up, and I've got it back in. I've repolished one side. I've still got to do the stainless on the other side yet, but yeah, just getting it ready for going away. We're going to go away about 7 or 8 weeks. We're going to be going away, so we're trying to get organised for that if we can. Yeah, so I've taken the Massey 20 and the slasher out to do the slashing, done all the slashing. It has to be bathed properly. I need to, clean the grill and all that sort of thing around there. So I'm sort of waiting on Jude to come and get the stuff. She comes up with her wheelbarrow and cleans it all off, and then what's left I pressure clean off. But yeah, when she gets round to that, who knows? Jude's got a little Yaris, and I think it's about a 2009-10 Yaris, Toyota Yaris. It's a 2-door hatch, and it's done under 150,000 kilometres, but we don't need it anymore. And at Queensland Tractor Spares, it took the parcels down to the post every day and took the grandkids to swimming, and look, it was Jude's armchair. She was never out of the bloody thing. And we've bought the Mitsubishi ASX now, and so now we're retired, we don't need the extra vehicle, so yeah, Jude's going to sell the Yaris. Yeah, it's 146 or 7,000 kilometres or something like that it is, under 150, so Jude's been giving it a good cut and a polish and a detail, and she's onto the headlights now. Yeah, they get a bit dicky, but it's her job. I could go and take over, but it's just her job. She's happy to do it, and I think she's off to Repco today to buy some of those headlamp repair kits, because the fellow that comes and does the roadworthies for us, he had a quick look at it a month or two ago, and he said, yeah, no worries. He said, you're going to need to fix those headlights because they get yellowy. But he said, I can do that when I do the roadworthy if you like, but look, we're going to try and have it ready. But yeah, great little car, nothing wrong with it that we're aware of. It's got little bumps and, you know, on the edge of the door there's a couple of little chips of paint and things like that, but it's been a workhorse. It hasn't been a fancy car, and a few little marks and scuffs, just little bits and pieces on it, but we're going to service it. I've got all their filters here to give it a service before it goes for sale, but yeah, probably 5,500, and that's a cheap little car, automatic. It's aircon works and all that sort of stuff, so probably a cheap little car for a young one just getting their licence to get into it. Yeah, we don't have any grandkids that age yet, so we're just going to move it on. So yeah, Jude's been doing that, and she's saying, oh, I'm getting sore arms. Yesterday we both sat and watched TV for probably 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the day. It was just warm. I went up for lunch and watched Landline, and then we watched something about Prince Charles, he was at the time, doing a big garden complex up. But anyway, we just sat and had a bludge, and yesterday afternoon I hopped onto the club stuff. So the club's got 4 big boxes of manuals, workshop manuals being gifted to them, so I'm just going through there, cataloguing them, stamping them with the club stamp and all that stuff. So a bit of club stuff going on. The phones for Queensland Tractor Spares, bloody Telstra, which is our telephone mob, they would give diarrhoea the shits, I reckon. We rang them up, told them what was happening. They gave us a reference number. Dean rang the reference number and said, yep, no worries, buddy, we'll sort that out for you. And all done, yep, it's all right. So Jude and I ended up getting a phone bill from the business still. $400 and something, and we only had a few days to pay it. So we thought, well, we'll pay it and we'll just tell Dean. And so anyway, we paid the bill, so Queensland Tractor Spares had the continuity of phone and internet service and all that. And got onto Telstra, and they said, oh yeah, I can see where you rang up about that. Yeah, well, whoever put that through for you didn't do it properly. So even though we didn't do the job properly, your name's on the thing, so you're responsible to pay the bill. Doesn't matter who owns it. And we said, well, that's all right, just how about we sort it out? So old mate said, yeah, we've done that. And we said, well, we want to keep our mobile phones. And when Judy first put it on, like we share 240 gigabytes of data. And they said to Judy, oh, we'll put Lance's phone on this special thing, it'll be better for him. And she says, oh, well, all right then. And so they took me off the 240 gig data package and put me on a low plan with a 25 gig package. So they took us off the shared one. And I said to Jude, what do you do that for? She says, oh, they reckon it'd be better. And I said, oh, bloody cockheads. But anyway, so I got a thing the last couple of days saying that it had been all fixed up again. And Dean had, you know, I talked to them and give them permission to change it. Dean gets a reference number, he rings the reference number, changes it all over. So we got a thing Sunday morning of all times that says, yep, it's all up to date, here's this and that and the rest. So I hopped onto my app on the phone. Well, they've got Judy and myself's mobiles still there, but there's another 4 phone mobiles that are still on our account that they didn't take off. So they've taken all the business broadband package and all that off, but they haven't taken the phones off. So Dean was going crook. I emailed Dean the letter and said, you know, we still got to sort this out. And these bloody big letters, these F-wits, and he said, how many times have we got to do this? So, but anyway, Bundaberg Telephone Company downtown, they're a Telstra agent. So perhaps instead of talking on the phone with them, we should just trot in there and sit at a desk with someone that owns the business and see if we can get that all changed. So we're still doing that. And the banks, that PPSR, that guarantee that Bendigo Bank was supposed to do the first week in November, we just got that through on the last day of the year, I think it was. So we're free from that. God, bloody, if people would just do their job and do it properly, yeah, it'd certainly save a lot of hassles for everyone. But anyway, that's what we have to deal with. The club stuff, we've had a bit of a break for a couple of weeks from the club stuff, but we're all back going. Helen and Trevor have made new proxy voting forms and that for the meetings, and yeah, we've just been working on. I did 6 key rings with key set 1, key set 2, key set up to 6. So different members can have keys for the shipping containers, for the getting fencing out for rallies, and have a museum key, and just have the keys to do the job. In the past, Kev, where one of the containers is on his place, he was allowed a key, and Nevi and Tony, only the 2 top brass, President and 2IC, they were the only ones allowed to have a key. And it was just a pain in the arse. You had to try and get one of them organised, and if someone was going away, they had to try and arrange to be met over there, and yeah, sign in, sign out and all that. But then, so the blokes that are often doing the fencing, I've had a chat to them, we're just going to give them a key each, and they can sign stuff in and out. They're grown men and they'll do it. So everything then got to be micromanaged. Just let people do their thing, and if you make it easy for people to do stuff, well, they don't mind doing it. But when you can't go there, and don't go there before, I won't be there before 2 o'clock, and I won't be here, and I won't be there, and make sure you meet me at 9, and all that. If they can just go over when it suits them, load up when they like, and come back, well, it's all about making it easy for everyone, isn't it? I got a package from Sparex through the week. I've got the last of the needles for the final drives, which is good. I'll have to get back onto that. But as you know, through the week I dropped out a video on doing the foot plates on the TEA 20. And look, that's made it a lot better to get on and off. Just a separate little video it was. And Russell Kempy's coming to see me today, and he's picked up a TEA 20 seat from Gordon Ellis down in Inverell. He went down and, Russell went down to see Gordon, and he picked up a bonnet for one of his projects, and a heap of rear linkage stuff, so he's got genuine, not aftermarket there. And so he's coming after lunch today. We'll have a chat and a yarn, and put the seat on. Yeah, it's just a rusty looking old seat which will match the tractor nicely, $60. So yeah, that's a good thing, and that will have that finished. I still want to do a video on the points, you know, on you know, putting a bit of paper in my points, and just a bit of a quick ignition one. But yeah, it's either shower and rain or something's going on. I haven't been able to put the time to that yet. And this last week I had visitors, like we had our friends Sal and Dave. Sal's mum's over from Gundawindi, so we had a smoko with them, and yeah, smoko's like a 3-hour ordeal, having a cuppa. And yeah, John Dudley, my mate from Howard, he met a fella. We've been buying some gear off a bloke down south, and I bought the fella that sold me the flow meter and the injector tester, and no, the massive hydraulic tools were off another fella. But anyway, he got on to me and he said, look, we're still going through some of the old fella's stuff, and all these tools have MF on them. Do you want them? So we did a deal, and a couple of bits I said I didn't want. He sent them anyway. He says, oh, I'm sending them anyway, so I don't know who else to give them to. So my mate John, he was at, he met Jason at Narendra in New South Wales, because John, he works for a seedling company where they take seedlings for farms to plant, so he's always on the road up and down. And so they made arrangements to meet at the servo at Narendra, and they swapped goods, and John does the farm all stuff, and he bought a lot of the farm all stuff as well. So he picked his stuff up and my stuff up, and way back I was working on the 1919, yeah, Farm All Regular. I think it's 1919, Farm All Regular. And we had a broken piston and we couldn't find a piston. And I was sort of ordering parts and buggering around. I sort of run out of bits, and we come to a standstill. So yeah, we didn't have a piston to put in. So anyway, John found one in America, and he dropped that off the other day. Yeah, it cost him like one piston. I think it was something like $270 to get it over here, just for a Farm All Regular. And we'd tried Tommy Horwood, and we'd tried, like he knows a lot of people in the farm all collecting game, and a few people showed photos, but the measurements and numbers didn't line up. So we haven't done anything on that engine for, look, long time, bloody long time. It must be a 2-year project now, if it's one. So I believe now I have the piston to do that. And so that's one of those jobs that's been sitting in the corner there. You know you got to do it, you can't do it. It's niggling away, it's annoying the crap out of you. I will probably bring that up and let it jump the queue and just try and get it out of here for John's sake and for my sake. And so what happens is I assemble the engine, do all the settings, get it all okay to go. John comes and gets it, he goes and puts it in the tractor. He brings the tractor up here with the engine in it, and then we'll try and fiddle and tune and all that. So it's a long process to do it. And look, I must have had that engine here for 2 years now if I've had it for one, but we had burnt conrod bearings, so we had to find conrods, and we didn't know the pistons looked okay, but when I bead blasted them, you could see little cracks coming in one. So then we had to start looking for a piston. So it's been a long drawn out process. Look, I'll be glad to see the end of it, and John will be happy to have his tractor going too, I'd imagine. But we were sitting there chatting the other day about projects, and he's got an International OA4 that he's had apart for nearly 20 years that he's working on there. All those tractor blokes must be the same, eh? But I'm finding now I have time in the shed. I am enjoying it, you know, the retirement thing. I'm not on the lathe much. I'd like to do a bit more lathe work. I am trying to tidy up around the place because, you know, when you work the hours that we worked, 70, 80 hours a week was not uncommon. And just things like the camper trailer, we'd give it a wash, but it never got detailed and put back properly. Some of the tractors, up in the shed, the spare parts and that here, never got put away properly. The tools and the steel rack and all that, like I've slowly caught up on a lot of that. Up at the house, we're tidying old barbecues up that are, one the other day, we lifted the top and the mice have been up in there taking bloody macadamia nuts up there. So it's got to be all hosed and cleaned and sterilised and the whole bit. But it's just an old barbie we don't use, so I'll probably make room under the pallet racking up the back here and just get it out of harm's way. So yeah, we're getting stuff tidied up. Jude's been into the front garden on the house yard here and sorting it out. And yeah, just jobs that were annoying us for ages and ages, and we're slowly working through them all. So, but anyway, look, that'll be a short stew. I have just finished filming a video on the tool score that I picked up this last week, and look, it's about a half an hour video, so it's too long to put onto the stew, so it'll just be a separate video on its own, just some of the massy tools that I picked up. But what I will do, we'll go handheld for a minute. Yeah, I'll just show you the old tractor out the back and to show you the foot plates on the TE20, and yeah, look, a few little things like that, eh? So look, thanks for dropping by. Your time is much appreciated, and look, those who haven't caught up with me yet, have a happy new year. Yeah, hopefully in 2025 I can clear a few projects and keep the place tidy, but it's bloody warm up here in the shed without the breeze though sometimes, so I'll get a bit lazy through the middle of the day. Go and have lunch and a cuppa and bug around, and yeah, usually 2 or 3 o'clock I'm getting fired up again. So anyway, time's nothing now, so yeah, oh, and shopping days, had to go shopping the other day. And, all this stuff you got to do. But anyway, thanks for dropping by once again, and we'll catch you all next week, eh? See ya. Well, look at that for a grass on the slasher. Well, that's dried out, but yeah, look, the tractor's sitting there waiting for Jude to come and pick up that, and then you can see all the grass on it. I've got to tidy that up. It's good to be using it though, bit of grass around there. I couldn't show you the front last week, but yeah, the front's looking okay. I put the big alternator guard on just for safety's sake, and that's all the foot throttle assembly that I couldn't show last week either. So yeah, look, that's a pretty good thing. That's the original throttle, but aftermarket brackets and all that. So anyway, that'll be okay. How many hours have we done now? 8.9. And it's all going well. So I'll just come back here a bit. But yeah, it's all going well, just needs another bath and putting back out of the weather. That big roof's that's a heaven sent when you're sitting on there through the day. The seat, I'm not all that happy with the seat. I'll probably put a suspension one on, I think. And yeah, see how we go with that. Okay, what I forgot to show you was the foot plates here. That was a job we did through the week last week. They've turned out well, nice and firm. You can see that this comes over the back there. That's the early types. As I said, Russell's coming today with my new seat. And when I come around the other side here, there's the other foot plate that I put that underneath heat shield on. There's quite a bit of interest in this Android handbrake controller. I bought that out of England years ago. But look, I hear that the Fergie shop casts them now and makes them, so probably if you're overseas, the Fergie shop, you could have one. It's a great thing. You don't have to lean down to flick this with your toe or put the later 35 one in. You just pop him up like that and there you go, she locks in. You can bring him back, leave him back there, and your brake comes off again. So yeah, great little setup, I reckon.